Hey up, welcome back out on my CF Moto 800 MT and on the way to Appleyard Motorcycles in Keighley to take out and review another CF Moto, one that slipped under my radar, and that'll be the 700 CLX. Aye, so let's see what that's all about. Before we get there, let me tell you first off about these here Aoocci cordless heated gloves from Ride Iron, and these are excellent. They've got 3 heat settings. I'm on the lowest one now, and still plenty warm with an outside temperature, I don't know if you can see there, of 7 degrees. Pretty nippy, but at least the old anticyclonic gloom has gone. So yeah, these gloves excellent. 4 to 6 hours on a charge. Charge time from battery flats about 4 hours, and I can tell you, I can feel the heat on the back and the sides of my fingers and the backs of the hands. So that's where I'm feeling the warmth, exactly where you need it. So excellent. Even warmer on medium, and on hot, hey, it's going to be very cold before you engage the old hot setting. And of course, the higher the setting, the lower the endurance time, obviously, but perfectly adequate at around the 7 degree mark here on the lowest setting. So if you go through the link in the description below, you'll get 10% off courtesy of me with the code TBW10. So yeah, Aoocci cordless heated gloves. Oh, it looks like plenty of protection on. Look at the extended cuff there. Goes right up over your sleeve and tightens up with that there drawstring. Yeah, so yeah, if you want a pair of these, believe it or not, they're coming at about 85 quid by the time you've done with my discount. So yeah, grab yourself a bargain using the link below. Also, my Aoocci C5 Pro TFT, and these again, you can actually get 22% off still, all of these models, C5, C6, C9. Again, through the link in the description below, 22% off with code TBW22. Seems to me that everybody out there, including the big boys, the big hitters, and the big girls, are singing the praises of these here things, and I absolutely understand why. Because for around about the 130 quid mark, give or take, with my discount, you're getting Apple CarPlay, so anything you've got on your phone you can have on here, such as your navigation, any GPS app you might have on your phone, you can display on here. So I have Apple Maps and Google Maps. Also your telephony through your headset, your texts, your WhatsApps, any music you want to play, all of the stuff that you would ordinarily do through your phone, you can do through this unit here. Think of it as mirroring your phone. Very useful indeed. And in addition to all that, you get video cameras front and rear, HD, constant recording front and rear with playback. So that's a great bit of backup to have. And you also get tyre pressure monitoring, and there's built-in GPS data as well. So you've got tyre pressure monitoring front and rear, pressures and temperatures, and you can set an alarm for when either of those parameters is too high or too low. stacks and stacks and stacks of functionality for just over £130 UK sterling. Brilliant bit of kit. And of course Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. And as far as electronic gizmos go, and I'm not a big fan of anything gratuitously overspec'd in that regard, but with these Aoocci TFTs that I've had for a few months now, no issues with them, no problems at all. Highly practical. I've always got a use for this equipment on my bikes. So yeah, grab yourself a bargain. Hey up! So here we are at Appleyards in Keighley, taking out the CF Moto CLX 700. In the meantime, if you're in this neck of the woods, or even if you're not, get yourself aboard out to Appleyard Motorcycles in Keighley. Part of the extensive Moto GB franchise, an excellent franchise I have to say from personal experience over the years, and particularly this, my local branch here in Keighley, Appleyard Motorcycles. Very, very friendly and helpful staff. Excellent selection of new and used bikes for you to try, and a stack of demonstrators to boot. Get yourself up to Appleyards. Alright, let's climb aboard this here CF Moto CLX 700 and see what she's all about, eh? Right then, so here we are, the CF Moto CLX 700 or 700 CLX. And a bit of identity confusion going on here. It's marketed as an adventure bike of sorts. You can probably see there the mounting points at the rear for panniers. But to me it's more of a scrambler. It's it looks like it's pitched at the Ducati Scrambler icon, is it? And maybe there's a bit of Yamaha XSR 700 going on there. But it's a bit of a saturated space in the market, is this sort of mid-range 700cc scrambly type, naked, with a smattering of retro thrown in. So yeah, definitely a touch of the XSR 700s going on there. But anyway, if you like your gold forks and your turquoise matte paint finish, you'd be happy with this. Just under £7 at this bike. And it's got the old Pirelli Scorpion Rally STRs, I think they are. We'll see when we do the old walk around. So yeah, I think it looks quite smart. Gone under my radar this. I thought I'd reviewed every CF Moto on the face of the planet that Appleyards have been able to offer, but somehow have missed this particular one. So let's see how we get on, eh? Right then, so out on the road on the CF Moto CLX 700. Where to start? Well, my first observation is I suspect that this bike could be very, very easy indeed to live with. It's very, very straightforward and effortless ride. Don't know why, whether it's because of the slightly elevated riding position, as you would expect from a scrambler type, or whether it's the nice wide bars or the positioning of the foot pegs, the truly excellent fully adjustable suspension. It's just effortless. Throw your leg over and off you go. We aren't getting much in the way of fancy electronics, I'm pleased to say, though we do have a standard, as you can probably see, cruise control, and it's just absolutely sublime on these bends, and ably assisted, I have no doubt, not just by the KYB suspension, but by these fabulous Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR tyres, which look like 50/50s but handle as well as any road biased tyre I've ever encountered. Good choice. Yeah, great. 18-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear. A fairly minimalist old style, I say old style for digital, LCD display, gear position indicator, digital readout of speed, RPM around the outside, odometer, clock, fuel gauge. That's about it basically. So I'm just going to hold back so that we can explore the personality of this engine without going up the arse end of that there grey van. May just ease off a little bit. This engine, just sort of 700cc liquid cooled parallel twin double overhead cam, but standard firing order, 180-degree firing order, not the seemingly preferred 270-degree V-twin like crank found on a lot of other bikes in this particular space, which may be regarded as a shortcoming in this day and age, depending upon your individual preferences, of course. And for a 700cc engine, lower down the rev range, you could be forgiven for thinking it's a little bit uninspiring, really. But this engine is at its happiest between 5,000 and 7,000 RPM. Red line's at 8, which is relatively high up the rev range. And the engine's basically a version of the old Kawasaki ER6 engine, bored and stroked to a degree, but it's basically that engine. And once you get up the revs, it's very pleasurable indeed, and I hope you can hear the bark of this exhaust as we push on a bit here. That's where the power is. Yeah, this engine likes to be revved. Woohoo! Hey, calm down, wheeler. It's not your bike. Nothing behind us. Let's try the old brakes. Front brake. Oh, that's good. That's good. No issues there. It's a twin pot J1 caliper on a 320mm single disc. Let's try the rear. That's average, and that's a 260mm disc with a single pot caliper. But together, plenty of bite, no issues. But yeah, once you get up those revs and give it some thrape, as we say up here in Yorkshire, give it some thrape, lad. Comes to life. Comes to life. It's almost like it's dormant below sort of 4,000 RPM, and then once you get above there, it's like you've given it a prod. You're giving it a bit of a tickle with a sharp stick. Hey! Oh. So, as you know, me being a Yorkshireman, my reviews are pretty straightforward, pretty brutal on occasions where necessary. I'm not going to be brutal about this bike. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, suspension soaking up these uneven road surfaces with good grace. Oh, listen to that. I'll give Tesla man a run for his money. I'm not going to out accelerate one of them, that's for sure, not on this anyway. But yeah, as you can see, the suspension's adjustable for compression, damping and preload, and preload adjustable at the rear. So that's you know, at this price point, just under £7 grand, that's quite impressive. Who's it for? There's a question. Well, I suppose if you look at this bike without having any preconceived ideas, without having any particular mindset about it being one thing or another in terms of categorization, if you think of it more in terms of a go anywhere, do anything motorcycle, then you're probably there or thereabouts. I mean, it has got the mounting frames for panniers. It has got a reasonable sized pillion seat. It's got enough usable power. It's all day comfortable. The seat's really comfortable. It's an 830mm seat height, so I'm flat-footed with an almost straight leg with my 32 to 33 inch inseam. You can have some fun with it, that's for sure. So it'll go anywhere and do anything without too much drama, and that's what a lot of people want. Now, of course, so much of motorcycling today is identity based in a way that it probably wasn't in days gone by. So often, for a lot of people, buying a motorcycle is almost an expression of and an extension of their own identity. Well, that was very entertaining, spirited ride. And as we go down this steep hill here, the camera will not be doing justice to, it's called North Bank. I can tell you that the braking is top notch, and indeed the engine braking is pretty effective as well. You could just hold it on the back brake here and let the engine do the rest for you in this here low gear. Very stable. So we've got a 13 litre fuel tank, not the biggest perhaps, not the smallest. I'm guessing 150, 175 miles, depending on how you ride it. Like all fuel tanks, when you're on an incline, it doesn't give you an accurate reading. Yeah, but considering it's not a 270-degree crank, it's got plenty of personality. Don't you just love watching sheepdogs? Look at those collies. Such clever animals. No worries, my friend, no worries at all. Beautiful dogs, beautiful. Cheers, bud. Right, so here we are then, and looking resplendent in this sort of matte turquoise with the gold forks, black spoked wheels, those 50/50 Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR tyres, ideally suited to this sort of terrain out here in the wonderful Nid Valley in the Yorkshire Dales. What a perfect spot to bring a bike like this. So with this sort of setup, this sort of scrambler type setup, you can come onto terrain like this with some degree of confidence, which you might ordinarily not be able to do on other kinds of bikes. Yeah, so from a stylistic point of view, I think it's a pretty attractive bike. It looks every bit the modern Scrambler, but with a little frisson of retro, if you like. Not much, but just enough. Yeah, I could live with this bike. The two things that impress me the most about this bike, the first one is the handling. It handles like a dream, and it comes in at just over 200 kilograms curb weight, and the setup of the suspension with these cracking tyres on, and just the overall manoeuvrability, flickability of the bike just makes it an absolute dream on the bends. You can go into those bends with absolute confidence. Handles superbly. So that was the first thing that really stood out to me. The second thing, eventually, when I got a little bit more, shall we say, spirited in the ride, was this ear engine. So this just under 700cc parallel twin double overhead cam liquid cooled. It's, as I said earlier, derived from the Kawasaki ER6 engine. With a bit of a tweak to the size of the bore, length of the bore and the size of the, the size of the bore and the length of the stroke. So it's derived from that engine, and I have to say, provided you keep it in the sweet spot of the rev range, which is sort of 4,000 RPM plus, and ideally between 5 and 7, it's really got some shoved behind it and a beautiful sound, a really throaty sound out of that there exhaust. So the engine, yeah, bit of a surprise once you get going. And overall, the bike's all day comfortable to ride. I mean, I could show you the sort of general riding position. I mean, I'm 6'1" with a 32 to 33 inch inseam. It's an 830mm seat height, so you can see I'm easily flat-footed and just a very, very shallow angle at the knee there. So in terms of the overall riding position, really comfortable. Nice wide bars, which again contribute towards the feeling of sure-footed handling. And yeah, it feels as light as it actually is. Yeah, I think the defining characteristic of this bike, insofar as you can have one single characteristic that you can employ to describe a bike, is just its ease of use. I mean, if you wanted a bike that could sit in your garage and give you every confidence that whatever was happening in the outside world, whatever terrain you had to cover, that you'd be able to do it. So it's a bike that's low on worry. It's a bike that's low on anxiety. You don't have to worry about, is it too heavy? Is it too powerful? Will it get away from me? Is it too physically big? It's just got an all-round sweet spot of capability and proportions and power. So yeah, absolutely effortless. And as I say, if you're inclined to come on a bit of grass or gravel, eminently capable of doing so with this fully adjustable suspension. Right, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this here review of the CF Moto 700 CLK. If you want to ride this bike, get yourself to Appleyard's, ask to take out this demonstrator, and hope you have as much fun as I've had today on this here bike. It's a cracker. Alright then, so if you did enjoy this, please click a like, and please, if you aren't already a subscriber, I would really, really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to this channel. It doesn't cost you a penny, not now, not ever, but it makes a really, really big difference to my endeavours on this channel. So, until the next time, and in the meantime, ride safe, be kind, and I'll see thee.